Ever wish you could like just skip all the fluff and get right to the gold? You know, like the absolute best nuggets of wisdom from all those business books.
Right to the good stuff.
Well, that's what we're doing today, like diving deep into 16 books that were carefully curated from,
no.
I know, right? From 613.
613.
613 reads by entrepreneur Anthony Vicino. Now, he built this list so we can try to build a $100 million empire.
Ambitious. I like it.
I know. So, are you ready?
I am so ready. Let's go.
Buckle up.
All right.
Okay. So Vicino, he structures his recommendations around these things he calls the 4 spheres of influence, which I really dig. Mindset, health, wealth, and skills.
Yeah, I like that. It's a very well-rounded, holistic approach to success. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly. They're all interconnected. All right, let's kick things off with mindset, maybe the most important sphere. So Vicino starts strong with Letters from a Stoic by Seneca. Now, I've kind of dabbled in Stoicism, but I'm curious, like, what grabbed Vicino's attention in this ancient text?
Well, Seneca, he's got these, like, truth bombs that are just so relevant even today. It's
Really?
thousands of years later. Yeah, like this one. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality.
Ooh, I like that one.
Right. It's, like, so powerful. Reminds us how much of our anxieties we actually create ourselves.
Totally.
And it's about shifting that perspective, right, to become more resilient.
Oh, I do that all the time, like the what-if spiral. You know?
No, me too.
It can be so debilitating. So Seneca gives us like a framework for dealing with all that mental chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Letters from a Stoic, it's not just about like enduring hardship, right? It's more about understanding that we have the power to choose how we respond to every situation. It's like we're not victims unless we allow ourselves to be.
Powerful stuff.
Right.
Okay, that's going on my reading list for sure. So now let's shift gears from ancient wisdom to modern self-help. We've got The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I feel like everyone and their mother has heard of this one, but what makes it so impactful?
Well, they're all powerful, but be impeccable with your word. That one stands out for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It goes beyond just honesty, like building self-trust
Oh, interesting.
and integrity. When you keep your promises to yourself, you build momentum
Oh, I see.
towards your goals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can't even trust yourself to keep your own promises, how can you expect other people to trust you, right?
Totally.
Okay. Next up is 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Now, I know he's a bit controversial,
A little bit, yeah.
but let's focus on the good stuff, you know, like the wisdom he offers.
Right.
What are some nuggets that stood out to you?
Well, one that really hit home for me was compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Oh, I love that one.
Especially in the age of social media where it's all, perfect and curated.
Highlight reels.
Right.
It's so easy to feel inadequate.
Totally.
So it's like a reminder to focus on your own progress.
Yeah. It's your journey.
Love it. Okay, before we move on from mindset, we got to talk about Mindset by Carol Dweck, Game Changer. Like, what are the key takeaways here?
Dweck's work is all about believing in our ability to, learn and grow.
Yeah.
So instead of, I'm not good at this, you say, I'm not good at this yet.
The power of yet.
Yes.
It's all about possibilities, right?
Yeah, like instead of limitations.
Okay, so we've tackled the power of mindset. Let's shift to the health sphere. Vicino recommends Outlive by Peter Attia. What sets this book apart from all the other health books out there?
Well, what's interesting is its focus on quality of life, not just lifespan.
Oh.
So Attia argues that we should aim for a longer health span, the years where we're not just like alive, but thriving.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Healthy, active, vibrant.
Yes. He dives deep into the science of aging, offers practical advice on things like exercise and nutrition and sleep and stress management.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm all for adding more years to my life, healthy years.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got mindset and health, 2 super important foundations for success. Ready to move on to money.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about the wealth sphere.
All right, so Vicino breaks it down into basic and advanced money knowledge, which is super helpful. So for folks just starting out, he recommends The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. What makes this book so groundbreaking?
Well, Housel challenges us to think about the mental and emotional baggage that we bring to our finances.
Interesting.
He introduces these thing called money scripts. They're like unconscious beliefs that we've developed about money based on our upbringing and stuff.
Money scripts. Sure, I've got a few of those.
We all do. One of my favorites, he says, saving is the gap between your ego and your income.
Ooh.
Right.
So it's not just about needs. It's about understanding our, motivations.
Exactly.
Okay, so after we, unpack our money baggage with Housel, what's next on the wealth building journey?
Okay. Well, Vicino recommends I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
Ooh, a classic.
It's a classic for a reason. Sethi gives this practical, step-by-step guide to managing money, automating finances, and building good habits.
I like that. Automation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He emphasizes taking action, right? Instead of just overthinking everything.
Action overthinking. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, now for a different perspective, we have How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. Now, this guy was a self-made billionaire.
Oh, yeah.
With a wild approach to life, right?
Yeah, he lived life on his own terms.
So what's his secret sauce?
Well, Dennis built his fortune in the magazine industry, founded titles like Maxim and Men's Fitness.
Wow.
Yeah, the book's full of, no-nonsense advice.
Straight talk.
Straight talk, a lot of humor. One quote that I really liked is, anyone not busy learning is busy dying. He really believed in continuous learning, not just for business, for everything.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So let's step it up a notch. We're going to explore the advanced money knowledge section.
Okay.
First up, Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. Now, economics can feel really dry and complicated. How does Hazlitt make it relatable?
You know what? He does a really good job of explaining these core economic principles in plain language and how they impact us every day.
Interesting.
He uses examples. He debunks some common myths. It's all about understanding the unintended consequences of policies so we can make better decisions financially and just as, citizens.
So important. We can't make smart choices if we don't understand the big picture.
Right.
Okay. Speaking of smart choices, let's talk about taxes. Vicino includes Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright. I get why he included this. I mean, taxes aren't the most thrilling topic.
That's glamorous, but crucial.
Right. So how does Wheelwright make it, interesting?
He reframes taxes as a tool, to build wealth.
Right.
Not a burden. He shows us how to legally minimize our tax liability and use deductions and credits to our advantage.
Working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay. Last but not least, we have What Every Real Estate Investor Needs to Know About Cash Flow by Frank Gallinelli.
Yeah.
Now, is this one just for real estate people, or can the rest of us benefit?
Even if you're not flipping houses, understanding cash flow is crucial. It's the lifeblood of any successful business. Gallinelli really breaks it down clearly and concisely.
So even if we're not real estate moguls, understanding cash flow is key.
Yes.
All right. That wraps up our dive into the wealth sphere. We covered a lot of ground from basic personal finance all the way to taxes and cash flow.
Yeah, we did. All right, welcome back. So we've laid the groundwork, right?
Yeah.
Mindset, health, wealth.
Check, check, check.
Now let's get to the final sphere of influence.
Okay.
Skills.
Okay. I'm excited for this one. I feel like this is where the rubber meets the road.
This is where it all comes together.
You can have the best mindset in the world and all the resources, but, without the right skills.
You can't execute.
Yeah.
You got to get things done.
Exactly.
Knowledge is potential power. That's what Vicino says.
True. So where do we start? How do we get these skills?
So he emphasizes mastering the 3 legs of business: marketing, operations, and finance.
Okay.
Now, we already talked about finance.
Yeah, we dug deep into that one.
So let's focus on the other 2.
Operations and marketing.
Yes.
Okay, love it. So how do we get operationally savvy?
Well, Vicino starts us off with Traction by Gino Wickman. Introduces this thing called the entrepreneurial operating system.
Oh, yeah, EOS.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
What makes it so effective?
It's like having a project manager, but for your entire business.
Okay.
It forces you to really define your vision, set goals, create systems.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about working hard. It's about having the right systems in place.
Working smart. Yeah, it helps you avoid the common pitfalls, when you grow too fast.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Miscommunication, or people are doing the same thing twice, or you just get totally overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. You can get bogged down.
Right. EOS, it's like the blueprint.
So it's like a roadmap to help you stay on track and avoid those messy, chaotic situations.
Right. Structure.
Structure. I like it. Okay, let's talk about bottlenecks. Vicino recommends The Goal by Eliyahu Goldratt, and it goes into this thing called the theory of constraints.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued, but the title sounds a little intimidating, to be honest.
No, don't worry. It's actually pretty simple. It's
Info.
like every system has a weakest link
Right.
that limits the performance of the whole thing.
Okay.
So Goldratt's argument is if you focus on improving that constraint, you can make huge gains.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's like finding the bottleneck in a traffic jam. Clear the bottleneck, everything flows better.
Exactly. And you can apply that to anything, not just business.
Oh.
Like, think about your own productivity. What's holding you back?
Ooh, good question.
Once you know what it is, then you can focus your energy.
All right, the goal is definitely going on my list.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to a book that caught my eye, $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. I mean, come on, the title alone. What's the secret? How do you create an offer that people can't refuse?
Hormozy, he really dives deep into the psychology, right,
Okay.
of persuasion. He gives you these tactics
Interesting.
to create offers that tap into what people really want.
Oh, so it's not just about having a great product or service. It's how you, package it.
Exactly. You have to understand your audience, you highlight the value, and then you frame it in a way that resonates with them.
So it's like you could have the best burger in the world, but if you just slap it on a plate and call it burger,
Yeah.
it's not as appealing as if you have, this awesome description that makes their mouth water.
It's an experience. You're creating an experience.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about marketing. Vicino recommends another book by Alex Hormozy, $100 Million Leads. What's this one about?
Leads, leads, leads.
Yeah.
It's all about mastering lead generation.
The lifeblood of any business.
You got it. Without leads, you're not growing.
So how do we get these leads? What's the secret?
He gives you this practical framework. You figure out your ideal customer,
Okay.
create compelling messages, and then you use different channels to reach them.
So it's like building a system, right, that brings in qualified leads, people who actually want what you have.
Exactly. The right people.
Okay. Now, speaking of persuasion, Vicino brings us back to the classics with Ogilvy on Advertising by David Ogilvy. This guy, he was like a legendary copywriter.
Your OG.
Right. So what can we learn from the father of advertising?
Ogilvy, he was a big believer in research, testing, understanding the customer. He emphasized clarity, storytelling, and building a strong brand.
It's amazing how his principles are still so relevant today, even with all the changes in marketing and technology.
Totally. Human psychology, it's pretty timeless.
So at the end of the day, we're still looking for connection, right? We want to be understood.
Yes. We still make decisions based on our emotions, you know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered operations and marketing, which are two essential pieces of the puzzle. What's next? Wow, we've really gone through a lot today, huh?
Yeah.
From mindset and health to wealth and skills.
We did all the spheres.
It's really incredible how much wisdom Vicino has packed into just 16 books.
It's like a cheat sheet to success.
Right. It saves us so much time.
Absolutely.
All the reading and research he did.
Hundreds of books boiled down to just the best.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not even feeling overwhelmed.
Really?
I feel like I have a toolbox full of, resources now.
That's the goal.
It's not just theory anymore, right?
Right.
It's like we have a plan.
It's a framework for building a successful business and a good life.
Okay. So for our listeners out there who are ready to, put all this into practice,
Yeah.
what advice would you give?
Pick one or two books that really resonate with you.
Yeah.
Dive deep into those. Don't just read passively. Highlight the key takeaways. Take notes.
I like that.
Really think about how you can apply the lessons.
Make it your own.
Yeah, exactly. It has to work for you in your specific situation.
Love it. All right, before we wrap up, I have a question for our listeners.
Okay.
If you could master just one skill from all these books we talked about, which one would have the biggest impact on your life right now?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And to add to that, which of those 4 spheres needs your attention most right now?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Mindset, health, wealth, skills.
Focus your energy there.
See what happens.
I like that. It's about recognizing that everything's connected.
It is.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 16 books that can help you build a $100 million empire. We hope you enjoyed it.
It's been fun.
Remember, knowledge is power, but action is key.
Go out there and make it happen.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to create the life you want.